Okay. Good morning. Okay, so I welcome all of you to today's class on Zoho cloud accounting software. Precisely what we are using is Zoho Books. We are using Zoho Books. Aisha, good morning. Good morning. How has been your week? Um, I'm happy to see you all once again. Um, it's a pleasure to see you all once again. So I hope this will be Mr. Edwin. Good morning. Without taking much of our time, we have to uh, get going. We have to get going. So, like I said, um, computer accounting platform was created. My vision is to have a platform where accountants will easily easily find, knowledge, tech skill knowledge easy, and a platform too where accountants can come share knowledge, um, share experience, and also help perfect each other in the area of accounting software. We all know what tech is doing in our world today. We all know what AI is also doing. And at the end of the day, it's going to be who is more creative with all of these things. And this has become my business. I wasn't serious about it, but as time goes on, I had no option than to turn it to business. It has to become a business. And it has been over 14, 15-year journey of good experience. Okay, good. I would say God has been great with this, even up to yesterday. So once you know what you are doing, once you put life into what you are doing, once you put creativity, once you put everything required for you to succeed, certainly you will. Even if you don't get to the pinnacle of success, you'll be on the road of success. So I think the worst thing that can happen is not to be on the road of success. I rather be on the road of success than not be on the road of success. So today we are going to look at Zoho Books. It's a cloud accounting software. When I go to client office, there is something I want to share with you. And over the years, sometimes it's funny the way these softwares are hyped. You know, some people do hype it to clients and collect good money from them. Then when they see you, you are laid back explaining the software. They are like, does this guy know what he's doing? I'm coming from the experience I'm coming in with accounting experience, business experience. I started life creating business. From there, I read accounting. I went into IT, and I went into management, and I went into consulting. So when they want to see that hype, you put fear in them. This software can do this, it can do that. Then unfortunately, by the time you get there, you see that the person who set it up is an IT person who knows little or nothing about accounting. And there lies your work and stress. You have to start fixing what wasn't your own problem. And well, that's what brings out the professional in you. And I'm also dedicating this video to one of us who called me from her office. She told me that her Zoho is, anytime she checks her profit and loss, her Zoho will be showing negative. Please, I want you to follow me today. If she is part of us, please, you are going to get clarity today. I'm going to take you from the scratch, step by step, on how to get it done, and your Zoho will not show negative. Sometimes, too, it is not the fault of the accountant. Yeah, it is not the fault of the accountant sometimes. So the fault of the person that set it up, especially the IT person who is not accounting oriented. Now, the IT person has already messed up the whole thing. So anybody that comes in to post error. Please, can you hear my voice? Mr. Kai, long time. It's been a long time. Mr. Maribor, it's been a long time. How are your countries? Please, can you hear me, please? Please, can you hear me? Give me an emoji if you can hear me. Can you see my screen very well? Yeah, Mr. Dale, Mr. Kai from Liberia. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen very well? Great, great. Please, if you are joining us for the first time, or if you are joining us, let us know where you are joining us from. Let us know the country. If you are in Nigeria, let us know the state. If you are in Africa, let us know the country you are joining us from. Let us know your country. And I officially welcome you to Computer Accountant Community. This is a community created for accountants, by accountants, with accountants in mind, where we share knowledge, sharpen our skills, and make ourselves relevant in this AI about to be driven AI world. Okay, so welcome. I welcome all of you. Mr. Ibrahim Abdumalik, I welcome you. So once you are joining us, please let us know where you are joining us from. Let us know the country, the state, and we welcome you officially. So like I was explaining, most times businessmen are wild. They are wild into making wrong decisions about some of these softwares. And I keep repeating it, quote me anywhere, quote me anywhere. They are all the same. If you take your time to look at Zoho, you see a part of it looks like QuickBooks, because QuickBooks has been there years back. Are you now telling me that the owner of Zoho will not go to understudy QuickBooks? Certainly he will. There are some good things he's going to copy from QuickBooks into Zoho. He might change the outlook. He might change one or two things. But you notice that as a professional, when I'm using any software, I can tell you that this was copied from Sage. I can tell you that this software was copied from Nest. I can tell you how these things, how the owners, how they do all of these things. The only thing is that, let me tell you the secret, focus on the basics. Stop all this automation, workflow. Those things are not accounting. Those things are aid to accounting. Remember when we are being taught business studies in school, we are told aid to business. Aid to business are not business. Logistics might be a business, but we know what it is to the business. Okay, it helps you to move services or product from one point to the other. But the business has to take place first. So when you have extra features added to a software, those things are added to the software. So the mistakes we do, business owners do, we that are implementing, the mistake we do, we sell, sometimes we go about selling the edge, not the software itself. And by the time the software is delivered, everybody becomes confused. Focus on the basics. By the time I'm going to take you through this trend, you see that I'm going to focus on the basics. What is the basics? The accounting, the finance. That is the essence of the software. The essence of the software is the finance, is the accounting transaction, is to generate real-time financial report for the business. That is the main. Any other that efficiency. So when we talk about the old softwares, they never had this workflow. It's these new ones like Zoho has workflow and the rest. But the essence of the software is not the workflow. Why you deployed it, it's not for the workflow. It's not for the rules. It's for your transactions, for your accounting. Okay? So note that. Focus on the basics, because if your attention goes away from the basics, you are going to mess up the software. Yes, you are going to do a whole mess on the software. I was in a client office yesterday, and it's the basics. I was putting them through on how to use QuickBooks to manage real estate. They were shocked that QuickBooks can actually get that done. So this is the stuff, the basics. Once you are able to focus on the basics, what will this software do for me as an accountant? Where do I go? What do I bring in? What do I give this software? And it will be able to generate the report that I need. You have gotten it. Okay, you have gotten it. So basics. People call me as Zoho is difficult. Anytime you generate your report, it's showing negative. Focus on the basics. What are the basics? Your customers, link them properly, link them to the right account, link them to the right tax. Your vendors, link them to the right account payable, link them to the right tax. Make sure your opening balances are in their accounting segment order, debit and credit. Make sure that the debit and credit are equal. Okay, your charts of account, make sure they are in the right phases. Expense is expense, income is income, asset is asset, liability is liability, equity is equity. Make sure that these basics are well drilled, well entered. Then all you need to do is to post. I don't want to be repeating the three layers I have always told us in other videos, so that it will not be like broken records. So these are just the issue. If your Zoho is reading negative, there is something you are doing that is not okay. That means that it's either the setup was done by another person and the error was handed over to you, or you did it and messed up the whole process. So without taking your time, once again, I want to welcome us. For those who are joining us for the first time, you are welcome to Computer Accountant Community, where accountant is the key. Our goal is to sharpen your skills, create a platform where you can sharpen your skills, get the necessary tech skills for an accountant, for a modern day accountant, and get your career running. So if you are joining us for the first time, or you are joining us, let us know where you are joining us from. Also, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, share, and like, as well as invite other accountants. We need to have a great community where accountants work with a smile. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now so that we get going. Okay. Okay, so can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, please? I have been making videos on YouTube for. Please confirm if you can see my screen so that we can start. Can you see my screen? Please confirm if you can see my screen so that we can start. Can you see my screen? Okay, so I think I have to be on my way now. Okay, so I think I have to be on my way. Can't do it, but. Please, can you see my screen? Okay, let me reshare it. Some are saying no, so let me reshare. Can you see my screen? Okay, let me reshare it. Some are saying no, so let me reshare. So confirm, can you see my screen now? I guess my screen should be up right now. Okay, Agnes, I just mentioned you. This webinar is dedicated to you. I don't know if you have corrected the problem. I think I got like 15 calls. You are one of them. If you have not corrected that problem, so just join me on this class. So let's fix it together. Please give me an emoji if you have seen my screen so that we can start. Can you see my screen now? Okay, excellent. So now, as my tradition, it has always been my tradition. I don't normally do the setup on the webinar day because of time it might take, because sometimes the setup can look rough. I might knock off some of us. It might erode our attention. So what I normally do is that we go straight to the platform, do our normal accounting work. Then for the setup and the reconciliation, I normally create a different video for them so that our attention will focus on the finance, on the accounting, day-to-day accounting posting of transactions or day-to-day posting of transactions. So that's why I have done the setup already. The video is on my system. What you now have is the Zoho Books. So once you do the creation, add your email, select everything, every feature you might want to use for the business, it will bring you to the dashboard. So you can see it's Hello Business Nest Hub. That's my email. Then this business we're also looking at today is the Sky Investment. So in case you need a copy of this case study, please, it's on our YouTube page. If you go to posts, you will see about 3, 4, 5 case studies that are there. Please feel free to make use of any of them. So this particular one is on Sky Investment. Now, like I said, anytime, and please, another important information I want to give us, you see that at intervals, adverts will be coming up on your screen. So you can allow it to play to the end, or you can skip it, anyone that is okay for you. Okay. So let's go. Now you can see that this is the dashboard. Like you have it in every software. Okay. Anytime a software opens, it opens to the dashboard or to the home page. Okay. Now the modules, all the module you need to work on this software are on the left-hand side. You can see the navigation bar. You can see my mouse dancing around the navigation bar. That is where all the modules, everything that will capture the case study, they are all here. The home contains my business name, my email, my dashboard. Get update. You can see that I have not posted anything at all. Then under the home, you have items. This is where you or the services you buy. Okay, then that's it. Here you have this is the store. Then this has to do with your day-to-day sales operation, whether on credit, part payment, or full payment. I've said it, and you are free to quote me anywhere. In business, you have 3 outcomes. It's either you sell on credit, you make part payment sales, or full payment sales. The same thing applies to purchases, time tracking, banking, accounting, then report. So on the navigation bar on your the left-hand side of the screen, all the modules you can comfortably use to run your business. So that's why I said earlier, focus on the basics. Agnes, I hope you are hearing me. Focus on the basics. When you perfect basics, then you can now start looking at the edge to the software, the workflow, the rules, the this, the that. But if you have not mastered the accounting side of the software and you are running to the edge to the account, then I think you are looking for some kind of inconvenience that will arise. And when they arise, I pray you are not on a real business platform. Your boss or the company you are working for might not be proud to have an accountant who has not come to add value, rather to set them back. Okay, so you can see that Zoho is simply Zoho is a comprehensive cloud-based accounting software designed for small to growing business. So it is not basically for large-scale business. Please note that. Startups, freelancers, remote jobbers, to manage financial transactions, automate workflow. You can see the automate workflow. But if you look at what I'm saying, financial transaction is the first option there. Then followed by, it is when you get hold of your financial transaction, then you start looking for platform to make it run in a seamless form. Okay, then handle compliance. It acts as a central hub. Zoho acts as a central hub for invoicing, expense tracking, bank reconciliation, and generating financial report. I always see Zoho as an alternative to QuickBooks, to softwares like QuickBooks. Yes, I see Zoho as an alternative to QuickBooks, to Sage, and the rest. Please quote me anywhere. They are all the same. I can dissect all of them and show you where they are just 90%. They are all the same. It's just that the owners have a way to tweak it to look as if, to change some certain outlook. They are all the same. Okay. So key capabilities is invoicing, payments, expense, vendors, like these are the key capabilities of Zoho, and I call them the modules. So this business I'm going to run now will be dependent on these modules on the navigation bar, which is on the left-hand side of the home page. Okay, having said that, I think we are good to go. So my advice to accountant is that in all case scenario, in every software you are managing, whether cloud or desktop, the number one thing you must create after installing the software or setting it up is always the chart of account. Please have that at the back of your mind. Even with our accountants, without the ledgers, without your chart of account, accounting is useless. Accounting is completely useless. Without the segment where the monies go into, accounting is useless. So that is why anytime you set up a software, whether cloud or desktop, the number one thing, the first perfection, the first foundation you must lay is the chart of account. So this is, you can see I've clicked on the chart of account. So you have the manual journal. You see, at some point in time, I'm going to use this journal. Currency adjustment. I don't need to do currency adjustment because I already have the local currency, which is Naira. So in your country, you select your local currency. So this is where I'm going. You can see the budget. You can see fixed asset. This fixed asset is just like a schedule. It's not the ledger. It's the schedule. It's just like a list, a database where you set up all your fixed asset. So then the report. So I'm going to the chart of account. Most of these softwares, they already come with most of these softwares, they already have the ledgers all fully prepared. They already have ledgers fully prepared. Like if you followed my class last week, you notice that in Sage Cloud, all the ledgers you need are already there. We think we only managed to create 2 or 3. The same thing applies to Zoho. Okay. The only thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to you can see that you have more than enough ledgers. We call them default ledgers already created. Okay. So you have you can see account receivable there. You can see furniture, an asset, tax payable or VAT payable. We are going to change it to VAT payable. You can see account payable. You can see equity, drawings. You can see different layers of expenses. So if you have access to the Sky investment, you notice that we have cash at hand and cash at bank. So this petty cash, I'm going to change it to cash at hand. So here it is. Then you click on edit. Agnes, I hope you are with me. You can see it's because of you that I'm dedicating this webinar. I'm dedicating it to you and to others that called and complained that where they are working, their Zoho is reading negative. So cash at, let me use capital letter, forgive me, all true, cash at hand. Okay. So there is no place for me to enter the opening balance as it is now, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem. I can use my journal. Then another thing I will advise you, please, when you're also using accounting software, don't be more automated than the software. Don't be more automated than the software. These are also problems what we do have. So you can see I've gotten that. So I'm focus on the basics. Put your attention on the basics. So I have in that Sky investment, I have delivery boss. So I'm going to change this asset account to delivery boss. Delivery boss, or you can call it motor vehicle. They are all assets. So save. You can see what I'm doing. I'm not creating a new account or a new ledger. Rather, I'm editing. I'm using the already defaulted ledger. I'm changing it to suit mine. So this is VAT payable. I will edit it to VAT payable. Then somebody might, if you notice that when I clicked on delivery boss, it was showing credit. It doesn't really mean anything. That does not mean that your asset will be credited. No, everything will fall in line. This is just like a mere configuration. So it will fall into the right place. Then I'll go to return earning owner's equity. You can change it to capital if you feel like. So let me change it to capital. So most modern day softwares, they come with enough defaulted ledger that makes your work easy. So for sales, I'm going to change it to revenue. Please feel free to draw my attention if there's anything, any problem with the audio or the screen. Okay, so let's run. So discount, this is for on the, this is can be this we can call this discount allowed. So I can just as discount allowed. Then telephone expense. From my case studies, there's no telephone expense. We have office supplies. I'm going to change it to stationaries. Okay, then I have a utility bill. So let me scroll down the more and see if I can get a similar name. Depreciation. Then salary. I'm removing employees' wages, leaving only salary there. Mm, then rent expense. So it's I'm not tampering with this one. Then purchases. I should normally it should be cost of goods sold, but let me just change it to our local palace purchases. So why I'm changing is to show you that you are at liberty to change it to suit the nomenclature of your organization. Okay, so I think I'm good to go with ledgers I have. Is so account receivable and account payable are already there officially. So, but in case we miss out on something, okay, utility bill. So I can convert any account to utility bill. Okay, so that's settled. I think I'm good to go. So the next thing, I'm done with this. So if you have your budget, remember budget, there's nothing fantastic about budget. It's just like you must have established your figures already, your projections. All you need to do is to key them to the system. Then when the actual happens, the system will give you the variance. Okay, so I'm going to create the items we buy and sell. Remember, I told you this is the non-human data. What I'm doing now is the non-human data. So I'm creating the items. I'm creating the items. So there's nothing is on the database. So I'll go to new. So the first is handbags. So I'll copy it. It's not a service, it's a product or goods, and it's sold in pieces. So take time and then you can snap the handbag. You can put the image of the handbag here. Then what's the selling price of the handbag? 1,000. So what it means there, anytime the handbag is sold. So Agnes, this is where the mistake starts. I don't know who set up that one you are using. Anytime I'm selling this handbag or I sold a handbag at any sales price, it should go towards revenue. So it can be negative. So what name do I want to appear on the description? Is it taxable? Yes, it's taxable. So these are the things that turn out the whole thing to be perfect. So we buy at 500. You see the account it goes to, and the name that appeared on the vendors list. Yeah, Mr. Moriba, I've done the rent expense. So the vendor also will charge us VAT. Okay, that is the uh, input VAT. Why we charge our customers the output VAT. So I want the software to help me track the inflow and outflow of my inventory. So that means that I will bring into the picture inventory account. This is it. You can see it. And that is how gross profit happens. So my valuation method is first in, first out. So I'm done. So these three key things, watch this. You see, revenue, one, purchases, two, and inventory. Please make sure they are selected. That is how you generate your gross profit. If one of them is missing, then there's problem. That is how you generate your trading account or trading profit, which is the gross profit. So I'm going to save now. So then add another one. So we have suits. So you can put the image if you have the image on your phone or based on your company policy too. Suit is also sold, I think this is the nearest pieces, and it costs 1.2. It goes to this account. When I'm describing it for the customer, I describe it as suit. Then it's taxable. Then when I'm selling, when I'm buying, I buy at 700. Okay, and it's also taxable, the input VAT. Then if you have a preferred vendor, that means that this particular product, we buy it from a particular vendor. You are free to put the vendor's name. Okay, so track inventory for this item, inventory access, save. You add again, you have shoes, copy, pieces,
if you are looking for the best watch to buy for yourself or for your loved ones, this.
so we have selling price 2,000, and it goes to revenue account. This is how I describe the transaction suit. Then you put your output VAT rate. Then it is bought at 1,000. So the system will debit purchases account. Then there is an input VAT on it. Then open up this place so that you complete your trade, the tripod account that helps you generate your gross profit. Okay, so I'm good to go. So all the three items we buy as in our business to resell have all entered. Okay, excellent. Now the next thing is to create the customer and the vendor names. Remember, we started with the charts of account. We went to account. Okay. Now in that account, I left one thing. We have created the cash at hand. From the question here, we have a bank, is First Bank, but I'm going to change the name to Global Bank. So I have to quickly go back, go to chart of account. Now I have to create it as a new account. It has to be a new account. Then let me see where it's under bank. Automatically, we know that it is a current asset. So we have Global Bank. I'm not going to use that First Bank so that it won't be it won't be restricted to Nigeria here. So Global Bank. Okay, you can go ahead, put your bank code, account number. The most important thing is currency is in Naira. So you can call it our bank account. Okay. Then save it. That's entered. So let's go back to creating the customer name. So you can see I'm just staying on the basics. I'm not flying around the application. That is what sometimes when I go to offices and ask, okay, lead me on how you can encounter this error. You notice that this person has been flying around the software, in that process, she has touched what is about to distort his or her happiness. So you notice that when you perfect on getting or on when you perfect on understanding the basics, and you with your eyes closed, you know it or exactly where they are, what to do, how to do it, even with your eyes closed, then you now start looking for the workflow, you now start looking for the efficiency, you now start looking for the edge to your work, what to make your work faster, seamless, enjoyable. But the problem is that you have not properly done the basics, which is the finance, the reason why the software was implemented in the first instance. Then you are looking for the extra. No, That's misplacement of priority. Your priority is the finance. Get it right, perfect on it, know where they are. With your eyes closed, you can get them done. Then sit down and now look for the automations. Okay, let's go. So I'll go to sales. So under sales, you can see those who are conversant with QuickBooks. If you remember, whenever you click on customer menu, you notice that everything you need to attend to the customer is there. You can see that it's just a change of name. Here it is sales, but you see under it you can create customers. Somebody just asked the question. Permit me to get a full dose of that question. I need to get a full. Can I use Zoho for my? Yes, you can use Mr. Kai. You can use Zoho for your NGOs the same way you can use it for QuickBooks, because Zoho has location the way QuickBooks has class. What if you have more bank? Okay, let me get the question right. I need to answer that. Let me get it right. What if you have more than one bank account? Will you create? Yes. Even if you have 1,000 bank account, I'm just exaggerating, but let's assume you have 20 to 30 different bank accounts. Yes, you create them. It will accept all of them. Okay, let me quickly add another bank account here. It's a ledger. There's no big deal. Let me just put the first bank because I didn't want to put it earlier. But let me put it. So you are free to create as many bank accounts that your business has. You are free to create it. It's your ledger. So you can see I have both First Bank and Global Bank now. Okay, let's run. So Mr. Kai, you can use Zoho to manage NGO transaction. It's just, see, these things are the same, my brother. They are the same. That is why if you are good in all or many of them, you notice that whatever case study you run on any of them, you get the same result. What will tell you that they are all the same is that if you post correctly, following the basics, whatever information, whatever accounting, whatever P&L balance sheet you got in this one, that's the same thing you are going to get in the other ones. That means they are the same. Sometimes it's just a game of change in nomenclature, change in positioning, change in one or outlook. Okay. So another question is here. I'm going to work on. It said, how about when the purchase price of these items you have and all of this? Yes, no. Okay. Mr. This name is long. Ekenechukwu. The name is too long. Igbo. Okay, let me just stop at Nenechukwu. See, in business, we all know that in business, there is no price stability. If in the process of creating an item, let me go back there. If in the process of creating an item, right, the purchase price is 700, like I'm showing you right now. If the purchase price is 700 and you have gone back to purchase a new product from your vendor and he's now selling at 800, what is going to your record is the 800. That's what you are going to put in your invoice. And that is what the supplier will write to you in his invoice. That old 700 is mere data. It's now mere data because it cannot be applied on the current business. The current business says the new price is 800. So the 700 is a non-issue. What you will now put in your price column is 800. So that is it. Remember, in accounting, full disclosure. You can't be disclosing what is of no use to the management. Full disclosure. And consistency law. Consistency law is, as price changes, you must be consistent with the price change. So you keep going with the new price. Can the Zoho be used for, Yeti babe, yes, it can, but you must be ready to do some work around. Let me emphasize on this work around again, because some people will say, sir, this software cannot be. It might not be, you might not use it to track the nitty-gritty of the production. You might not use it, Yeti babe, I'm directing this one at you. You might not use this software to record the nitty-gritty in terms of the production line, but it can help you manage the finished product coming from the factory. But if you understand what I mean by the word workaround, I have used QuickBooks to do a lot of things that clients were told that QuickBooks cannot do this. I have used Sage to do, so I have used Sage to develop this FIRS, not FIRS, International Financial Reporting Standard template. The client was told that Sage 50 cannot do it. When I came in, he was shocked that his P&L, his balance sheet, his cash flow, I have to change the picture completely to reflect IFRS template. So these things are work around, and that's where I challenge your creativity, your ability to think deep. Then please, what if the NGO have different? Yes, Zoho can manage it perfectly. Zoho can manage it perfectly, no matter the number of projects the NGO do have. Yes, Aisha, you can edit to 800. So why in the as I'm posting, if I remember it, I will show you. You can always edit. You might not come back here to edit it. Please, this one stays. You can edit it on your commercial document, like on the invoice or the receipt. You can edit the amount there to 800. Okay, so let's run. Uh, Customers, right? So customers. Oh, the questions are flying. Can this be used to create? Yes. Part of what we'll be doing here is payment and receive voucher. That's part of what we are doing here. Yeah. No, factory. Yeti Babe, factory. Yes, I mean factory. This, they might, like I told you, they might not be relevant in tracking the production process cost. Yes, they might not be, but with a workaround, they are not created for that. They are not created for that factory. So there are specifications for that. But with workaround, with deep thinking and understanding the double entry the way it is, you can use a factory on this. These are things I have done in real life, I'm telling you, with workaround. Because sometimes a client has invested money in a particular software and is telling you, I can't just get a new one. I have to explore this. That is where they engage us. We help you do the workaround. Think, bring out a solution from a non-existing platform. So that's it. Okay, so please, if you are joining us for the first time, welcome to Computer Accountant Community. Let us know where you are joining us from. And don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment and like. As long as you are here, you owe an accountant who doesn't know about this platform, you owe him a duty to tell him about the great things happening here. So don't enjoy this blessing alone. Get other accountants to be part of this platform. Okay, now I'm about creating the customers. From the case study, we have Kev Fashion House, we have Zenith Garment, we have McDay. So I'll go to new. You can select, click, create new customer. If you have your customer names, let's say you have them in their thousands in your CSV, Excel CSV, you can import from here. But I'm going to create a new customer. So they are all individuals. If they are companies, you leave it at business. If they are not, you go to individual. But you can see that nothing changes. They are just the same. So Mr. Kev. fashion, and then you have, you see, this is it. Then you can put the customer's email just in case the invoices or the receipts are routed to the email of the customer. Then you can put his telephone. Customer language is English. Then what is the tax rate? Anytime this customer buys, he's charged 7.5. So if you go to that case study, the case study says every transaction is subject to VAT. Every item sold is subject to VAT. Currency is Nigerian naira. So in your own part of the world, you use your currency. And I want this account to track the transaction of this person. Yeah. Is there opening balance? No, according to the case study. Then what are the credit policy? He will officially be recognized as a customer, or as a debtor. Care Fashion House will be officially be recognized as a debtor once he fails to pay at the end of the month. Then, do I want Care Fashion House to also access my Zoho Books and look at his report? Then you have to select this. Then it then means that you must put in his email. Okay, in real life. So I want a scenario where the customer goes to the back end and also look at his transaction history with us, but he will not edit anything. Note that. But you must put his email. Then if there are, let's say, what some organizations do, when they write the hard copy receipt, they will upload it to this customer's database. Then add more details, just like the website of the customer, the department that sold to him, the designation, and all the rest. So these ones are not, they are secondary data. The real primary data is the name. The real primary data is the name as well as the account where that money goes to. So I will say, good. So I'm creating the second one, Zenith Garment. So I don't need to put Mr. again. You have the option not to. Okay, so I'm going to the primary data, things that are key to me, things that are key to the day-to-day management of the customers. So save. So create again. You have McDave, Boutique. Okay, so I don't think I added VAT to the last one, so I'm going to check it so that it doesn't affect my record. Okay, I mean Zenith Garment. So edit. Yes, you can see I left VAT, so I have to add it. Good. So the three customers, there are actually four customers. There is what we call one-off customers. So when we get there, I'm going to explain it to us. So customers are entered. So the next one is the vendors. Okay. So I'll go to purchases. You have vendors. So new. You have Morgan Designers. Morgan Designers. Then you have if it's a company, you know what to do at this stage. So Morgan Designers. Then if you want him to also access his transaction history from your own end, So you put in the input VAT. Then I want to use this account to track all vendor transactions. That is account payable. Is there money you are owing them? You can put it there as the opening balance from the case study none. It will sort itself accounting wise. So payment terms at the end of the month, due end of the month. So save. So you have the next one, that is a age tell us. Okay, so this is what the system has given, age tell us. Then you go ahead with the email, phone, blah, 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 then the input VAT. Then you have your account payable. So save. So one more vendor is King Joe. King Joe. Then the display name appears here. You do other secondary data, add the inputs, VAT, account payable. So Agnes, if you can hear me, you can now see why it might not be your own problem. Maybe sometimes the people who did the setup might not be accounting oriented in nature. They will just do the normal IT setting of this platform. They will disappear into the thin air. So by the time you start posting, you might not even realize that the whole platform is already messed up. But unfortunately, the situation of life means that since you were caught at the crime scene, you are part of the you are part of those that committed the crime. So I'm done. You can see that I'm following the basics. I've entered the chart of accounts. I've entered the inventories, the items. I've entered what do you call it? The customer name, vendor name. So let me check. Do I have anything outstanding from this module here? This is done. This is done. This is done. Banking. Okay. So let's see what is in the banking. You can see I have zero balance. The system has recognized that there's a bank account here. Okay. So I can look at them here. So I've created them. So I don't need to worry myself anymore. Or again. Okay, so we are good to go. This is set. So I'm done with the setup. Okay, so I'm done with the setup. I've keyed in customer name, vendor name, names of the items, names of my chart of account, names of my bank. I think I have done great justice to the platform. So I'm about going into the second phase, which is all about posting transactions. Posting transactions. So are we ready? So if you are ready for us to start, so Mr. Ibrahim, you talked about the payment and receipt voucher. So we are diving into it now. So if you are ready, let me have an emoji. If you are ready, you have seen my screen. You are still there, you are still hearing my voice. Please, let's bring some heat to the house. So give me an emoji, then we run. Can you hear me clearly? Is my screen clear enough? Are you seeing my screen? Please. Yes, Mr. Moriba, yeah, I love that. Employees, good. Somebody is really more active than the rest of us. Mr. Moriba just reminded us that we have not set up the employees. He just reminded us that we've not set up the employees. Now, the same thing that is more like the QuickBooks. Now, you know that Zoho Books Zoho Books, this particular Zoho Books is non-employee oriented, but we are going to do a workaround. I'm going to create them in the vendor platform. Come to think of it, our employees are also vendors. In case you don't know, as long as you are working for an organization, there are two types of vendors in every organization. We have the internal vendors and the external vendors. All of them, they render both service and product. The internal vendors are you and I, the employees. So we render services to the business and the business pays us monthly. We render monthly services, monthly services to the business, and the business pays us. Then, if you look at it from the other angle, we have external employees. They are people who are independent from they don't work inside of the business. They work from the outside of the business. They are independent, but they render product services or pure services to the business. So what we are going to do as a workaround, this Zoho Books doesn't have a platform for employees, but Zoho as a software has softwares for employees, which you can integrate into the Zoho Books. So, but as a workaround, we will create them under vendors. So, Mr. Moribo, thank you for that observation. So, continuation, new. Now, see what I'm going to do. We have John Edet. John Edet. Okay, sorry for the spelling. I have to get it right. Okay. John Edet, then his email, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So remember, I'm using a workaround. So tax rate does not affect the staff. So I'm not going to put that. So he's paid in Naira. Then what is the account? Okay. I'm not going to use this account to track the employee. So I will leave it. So everything is okay now. You can see what I did there. I did not connect this staff to account payable. They don't have any business with account payable. They don't have any business with account payable. So Flora James. Okay, so this is the name. So you leave this. Okay, leave this. All this is they don't apply anymore. Save. Then last person there is this security gate Peter. Mr. Moribo, thank you for that observation. Thank you for that observation. That's why you are a strong member of this community. And very soon, as a matter of appreciation, and for some of you that have been with us for the past 1 year plus, the platform will be appreciating you with our badge based on the number of time you have been with us. So some of you that were at the inception of this community, we will be appreciating you with a form of badge. So anytime you are dealing with us, that is what we'll use to recognize. We'll recognize you based on your badge. So Mr. Moribo, Mr. Okai, you are one of them. So we will be sending it to you very soon. So feel free to. We are proud. We are happy that you are part of us. You have associated with us, and all of you have been there from day one. And I appreciate your pressure you have put on me for some of these things to be delivered. So thank you so much, and expect our badges soon. Okay, somebody just asked a question. Okay. Please, I have a question. What if the customer buys and pays immediately? Working customers, and then how about cash purchases? How is it going to be treated? Okay, please. If a customer buys and pays immediately, that's receipt. You issue the customer receipt. Once a customer buys and pays immediately, that's receipt. And in the case study, it is also expressed there. So you talked about cash purchases. How is it going to be treated? Cash purchases, it goes through cash at hand. When you purchase products from your vendor and it's by cash, you pay by cash. So you are going to see it. Both cash and bank purchases are just the same. What is different is the mode of payment, the nomenclature in that mode of payment. They are just the same. Mr. Johnson, Anne Nechukwu. Yeah, Gray from Sierra Leone, you are welcome. Yeah. So you are welcome to the community. So come May, for those who have been expecting the master class, come the month of May, we are going to do a double header master class. For both, we are going to do QuickBooks Sage 50, QuickBooks Sage 50, and QuickBooks Online. So for those who are expecting the master class, you know what it is. You know that our prices are very cost effective. And I'm very happy that some of my students are already in the money-making environment, doing well. I used to see their videos on Facebook, running their inventories, doing one or two. So it gives me joy that my knowledge is actually working in the hands of people. So our master class will be coming up in May. So we are looking at, well, the details will be up this before this week runs out. So for those who want to register, please feel free to do that. It's highly discounted, but you will notice that it is different. It is way more different from what we are doing here as basics. What we are doing on our webinar is to give you that strong fundamental standing where you follow basics to get exactly what you bargain for. But for the master class, I'm pouring out my years of experience, what I have done for clients, how I've used this software to do a lot of stuff, and the areas you can make money from this software. I can bet you I just sat down for 2 hours in an office, and I know what I took home. you can equate it to a salary of 6-7 people. So that's how it is. Once you are able to diversify yourself into this software, you make money from the holistic picture of being a computer accountant. You make money from different layers of the software as well. So the masterclass update will be coming up soon on the platform. If you are not in our platform, please do well to join our platform. Okay. So let's run. I think I've done justice to all of this. So let me go back to the case study. Let us start posting. Now, from the case study, it says there's an opening balance of 500,000 for both cash at hand and global bank. There's an opening balance of 500,000 for both cash at hand and global bank. Now, this is where your journal comes in. You can see how I have maintained my stay on the module on the navigation bar. So you go back to accountant, select manual journal. Select manual journal. This is the manual journal. Select new. Now this journal is happening today. So on the 25th. Okay. The journal number, I will leave it as number 1. Reference is Sky 1 or Sky Journal, Sky J1, Sky Journal 1. Okay. Opening balance. You can make your sentence in detail. Opening balance. So I have started the real accounting work. I've started posting. So some of these questions, I will come back to you for it. Aisha, please forgive me. If you're in the WhatsApp group today, I'm going to put up all the details concerning the masterclass. My apologies, Aisha. You know, I'm also a civil servant. So, cash at hand, beginning balance, opening balance. Don't mind me. Okay, it's not for any individual. It's not coming from transaction or VAT. So debit 500,000. Then the second layer is the global bank. If you can type it, it will pop up. Global bank. So copy, paste, copy, paste. If you can't type, you can copy and paste. Because it's an asset, it's a debit balance. Then the corresponding accounting equation will be equity. I'll add a new row and select capital. I think I used capital. Yeah, this is it. Opening balance for the period. And that will give me 100,000. So you can see that both the debit side and the credit side has balanced. Okay, sorry. This is 1 million, put 100,000. So you can see it's excellent. Okay, so I'll save and publish. So if I quickly go to the report, let me quickly go to the report. Let's see what the balance sheet is saying. So once it synchronizes, it will automatically appear here. So let me dash back. So it will automatically appear. Okay. So this is it there. So you have the, okay, so I'm good to go. Now the next question there is, so for those who have asked of voucher, so this is where I'm going now. So under transaction, bought 100 handbags on credit from Sky. We are buying, we are the ones. So put yourself in the shoes of Sky. Put yourself in the shoes of Sky, and you are the one making purchases of handbags. So you go to purchases, and the question says we are buying it on credit. So you go to purchases and select bills. Bills simply means you are buying it on credit from the vendor. So whatever invoice, paper invoice that the vendor will give you, this is where you record it. Bill. You can see that in QuickBooks, it bears the same name too, bill. So you go to new bill. So you drop down. Who are we buying from? Morgan. So in case the name is blocking, so you can. This is Morgan. Bill number. So that's that number on the vendor's invoice. So let's use 4 digits. Then if it is emanating from purchase order, then you also put the purchase order number. So today's date. Why is this thing blocking my view now? Okay, so you go up. Good. So you can leave me alone. So it will be tracked through account receivable, payment at the end of the month, subject, what will I call it? Vendor purchases. Let me just vendor purchases or handbag purchases. Let me just make it more specific. Handbags purchases. Okay. Then you now go to where you have the items, handbag. You can see this is correct. Please don't, a lot of problems I have seen in offices, they come and tamper with this account. Please leave it at inventory asset. Don't tamper with it. 100. If you go to Sage, this is how Sage and QuickBooks sees all of these things. Okay. Then unit price plus the VAT, input VAT. Look at it down here. You can see it. So once you key in everything, if you scroll down, look at it, plus the VAT. Now, this is another problem area. Watch this. If you click on Save as Draft, you are telling the application that you are not ready to post this thing into the report. That you will still call it back for review and save it later. So these are mistakes people do. So if you click Save as Draft, it will not appear in your report. Your P&L and your balance sheet will not carry this transaction, because what you are telling the software is that keep this in view. I will call it back for a review and post it back later. But if you are posting it right now, please save as open. That is the right thing to click. So that's what I'm clicking. So automatically it has hit our invoice. So you can see I have to use the computer accountant logo to do all of this. You can send this thing back to the vendor, as a copy. But that's done. Then second, got on credit a supply of 50 suits from Edge Tellers. The same bill. We are still on the same bill. So we are dealing with Edge Tellers. Good. 2222. It happened today. Okay, so everything is, so we have, what do we have? Suit purchases, suit purchases. Okay. Then you have your details, suits. How many quantity? 50. So if you go down here, you see that both, it gives you 35 normal total plus VAT. This is what you get. Then save as open. I don't want to review it anything. Once everything is perfect, there's no need reviewing it. Then the third question says, bought 30 shoes on credit from King Joe at 1,000 naira each and paid by check for 25 pairs. And paid by check for 25 pairs. Okay, so that is, we'll go with bill. It's part payment sales. Now, watch, for some of us that have asked this question, watch what I'm going to do using this part payment. So I will start with bill. So we are dealing with King Joe. Three. It happened today, correct? Shoe purchases. Then you scroll down to enter the details. We are purchasing shoes at 30 pieces or 30 pairs. So you can see everything is done. Now watch. There's a caveat in that question that says out of the 30 pieces of or 30 pairs bought by us from the vendor, King Joe, we made part payment for 25, what we see in everyday business. Now I'll save this. I'll save it. Watch what I'm going to do immediately. Still on that King Joe, okay, I will select to enter that part payment of 25 shoes, which is 25,000. I will select record payment. Look at it. This is 25,000. Now, somebody asked if it is paid by cash. You can see what is the payment mode. From the question, it was paid by check. Okay, it was paid by check. Select the date of the payment. Now that check, since it is check, it means that it went through our global bank. Let me go up. It went through global bank. You can see you can actually pay. You can actually pay in full. You can actually make part payment. Okay, just do the right thing and the right results you get. So global payment, maybe reference, check reference, paid by check. Okay, you know what you do there on a. So I think everything is sorted out. There's no bank charges. That is the first payment that is occurring on the system. Then save as paid. Did you see what happens? It changes this from open check, open invoice to partially paid. Good. So we are done with making purchases. Let's now start selling our products. I have a lot of questions here. Let me just at my office in our QuickBooks, we class all payee. Mr. Kai, I need to understand that question. We class, okay, your office, you class all payee as vendors, okay? I chatted with you. Okay, Aisha, my apologies. I will not fail you again. Good afternoon, sir. I tried installing the C50 on my laptop. I got to a point where they asked for serial number and I can't. Please check, Madam Gladys, check your email. I sent it to your email this morning. Check. I saw this email. Check. So will it be good if we can have a copy of those case study? Go to our YouTube page under posts. That copy is there. Ibrahim, can you add new mode of payment other than cash? Yes, you can. You can put money points. You can put OPay. You can put any medium of or any mode of payment. Yes, you can. You are free to add as many as you want, no matter how dynamic they are. You are free. Okay, back to please, can you see my screen again? Please confirm if you can. Are you hearing me? Can you see my screen? Where do you add that mode of payment, sir? If you go to your chart of account, Mr. Alex, if you go to your chart of account, I've done it at the beginning, but let me just quickly use 1 minute. If you go to chart of account, if you go to accountant module, click on chart of account, just select new. That's it. If you are creating bank, you will see bank. Okay, let me create OPay. Bank name, OPay. OPay. I have put your account number, blah, 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 blah. Then you save. It has gone in. That's all. That's it, Mr. Alex. Okay, good. Now let's go to the other angle, selling of the product we just bought from our vendors. Okay, so we go to sales module. Under sales module, that's where you create both customer names and all customer transactions. So the first question says that we supplied on credit 90 handbags at 1,000 naira each to Kev Fashion House on credit, on credit, on credit. Please, these are things you have to underline. You must understand how the transactions were carried out. It says on credit. So that means we will back it up with an invoice showing that the customer is liable to us because we are selling on credit. Okay, so new. So who is the customer in question? Kev Fashion House, Mr. Kev. So the system automatically gives the number. If it's coming from a sales order, an earlier issued sales order, so you put the number of the sales order here. So if there's a marketer involved in coordinating this transaction, maybe he or she will be paid commission at the end of the day. This is where you create and add the marketer's name. Okay. Okay. So you select your customer. So this is handbag sales of handbags. Okay. So let me copy this because I will use it for others. I don't want to be typing all the time. So what are we selling actually? Handbags. What quantity are we selling? 90. Remember, I've already linked you can see it with the tax, output tax. You can see it with the output tax. Then you can go ahead and add, thank you for patronizing us, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Aisha says, if you understand QuickBooks, you can easily Aisha, if you invest your time understanding some, you can operate all. That's my own addition. If you spend your time understanding some, you can operate all. Okay, let's run. So I'm not saving it as draft. Okay, I'm not saving it as draft. I don't want to review anything. That's why most people, when they save their transaction, it doesn't appear on their report. I want it in immediately. Okay. So then if this Kev Fashion has email, you see, can somebody send me his email? Can somebody send an email to me? Let me forward this transaction. Confirm if it arrives at your email. Can somebody send me an email? Just type your email, then I'll forward this to your email. I want you to confirm if it arrives. Can somebody send me his or her email? Let me see if okay, one has sent, Y has sent, so let me forward. So I'm going to send to We have business. Gmail.com. Okay, so let's see if this person gets it. So send business. Okay. Okay, so I'm done with that transaction actually. It has been posted to the record, so you can see it here. What we are just looking at, is when you send this to a customer, how the customer gets it. If you have entered the customer's email, automatically it will land in the customer's email. Okay, so let's go to the second question. It says, got on credit a supply of 50 suits received check for 40 pieces of suits sold to Zenith Garment. Received check for 40 pieces of suits sold to Zenith Garment at 1,200. So it means that Zenith Garment as a customer is paying us in full. Okay, so what do I do? You go to sales receipt. It means that the customer is paying in full. It means that the customer is paying in full. Okay, so let's run. Please, I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so new receipt. So who is the person? Zenith Garment. So it is happening today. There's no customer, no marketer in between. So you have suits. He's paying in full for 40 of them. So if you go back, you see that the VAT output has applied. Okay, so a lot of options are here. You can see save and print. Let me use that one. Okay, you say this customer name already exists. Please specify a different name so I can I can search. Good. Excellent. Excellent. So it has recorded. So I'm not printing. You can see, for some of us who think, you can see you cannot actually print. Excellent. So I'm not printing, so I'll close it. Then the third question says, sold 25 shoes at 2,000 naira each to McDave Boutique and got paid by cash for 22. This is part payment sales. So it is a combination of both invoice and money received. So you start with invoice to capture the account receivable part of it, new. So we are dealing with McDave. So we are no, there's no marketer. Here we have sale of shoes. Okay, shoes, 25. So that is the full disclosure. The full disclosure, this is the amount of the full disclosure for that 25 shoes. So I will save. I'm not printing it. Now, from here, 22 were made as part payment. So 22, let me mark this as sent so that it will clear from my desk. So 22 were made as part payment. So I will record that 22 immediately. Okay, payment, the customer who is paying is McDave, and he's paying 22, that is 44,000, 22 times 2,000. Okay. Then it's today, and he's paying by cash. So cash at hand, look for cash at hand. The payment method is cash, then cash at hand. Payment is being received today. Reference, cash payment. Then you can go ahead and make some detailing about the transaction. Make sure that everything is in order. Okay. Then paid, save as paid. You can see automatically it's now showing that Mark Dave has partially paid. Then under sales, the fourth question there says cash sales of 5 handbags. Most of us go to Nest and other platforms to make purchases. You see that anytime you walk into Nest, okay, somebody said I typed 22,000. Wow, let me quickly make that correction. Wow, wow, wow. I want to see. Instead of 44, okay. Oh, yeah, I can see it. It's 22. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, okay. Let it not take our time. I'll come back to it. Yeah, at least thank you for drawing my attention, Aisha. Okay, so cash sales of 5 handbags. So you go to sales receipt. Now, in that question, no name was reviewed. So we normally call it one-off transaction or on-the-fly transaction. Okay. So no name was actually, what is important is the materials, the materiality concept of that transaction, which is the handbag sold and the money paid for it. So I think this is 5,000. So that is it. That is what was sold and paid by the customer. So it was paid cash. Mode of payment was cash at hand. Okay. So everything is in order. Maybe reference CP, cash payment. Make sure that everything that needs to be added is added. So I'll save and print. You see that it works, it also works like QuickBooks. You don't need, whether the name is there or not, it will go in. It works like QuickBooks also. Okay, so now we have done selling. So let's go to paid the following. Okay, we are paying our vendors for some of the monies we are owing them. Okay, so you go to purchases and select payment made. Somebody asked this question, so you can see I'm doing that already. Payment, we are paying Morgan 47,500. Okay. You are paying Morgan 47,500. So new. That is Morgan. So that is how much are we paying? 47,500. It happens in business. You buy some time, you pay some other time. Okay, so you scroll down. What's the mode of payment? We are giving him check. And that check will pass through our global bank. Maybe check number will come in here. Okay, so that's it. Everything you can see. This is also where if you are seeing a figure here, then that means you didn't key this thing in properly. If you key in this place, if you type 47,500 and leave here open, this place will be showing you that there's an excess. So the first thing you do when you key it in here, it will automatically drop here. Yeah, that's it. So save as paid. You see, it has gone in. Now the next one is cash payment to Edge Tellers, 30,000. So the same platform, payment made. So we are dealing with Edge Tellers. So how much? 30,000. So his own is cash. So we are not changing anything much here. It's already cash. And yes, it's cash at hand. So everything is in order. Cash, 30,000. Then we have King Joe. So the same platform. So we have King Joe. We actually we're actually paying him in full, which is okay, 5,000, 5,000. Yeah. Okay. So we have his cash at hand already from the question. His cash at hand. So there is nothing much to change. Just to make sure this drops down. It's supposed to be full, yeah. Supposed to be full payment, yes. So that's it. Supposed to be full payment. So everything is in order. Paid at save as paid. So we are done paying our vendors. So the next on the line are the customers. Receive money from McDave. Okay, so how much? So you close down the purchases module, open the sales module, and select payment received. Okay, new. So we are dealing with McDave. Amount received is yes, 8,750. No charges. 8,750. It was paid by check, so it will fly through Global Bank. These are other areas you have to be very, very careful so that you don't post what is for cash to bank. So you can see. So we are good to go. We are good to go, good to go, good to go. Okay. So save as paid. The next one is Kev Fashion House. He made a part payment of 80,000. So still on that platform. Okay, this is the one of that should have been 44,000. Okay, okay. Okay, no wahala. So let's go. So you have Kev Fashion House, 80,000. That's what he's paying us. Out of 96 something he's owing us. He's making a part payment, which happens in business also. And he's paying us by cash. Okay. Paying us by cash. So let's see. Mm, we have 80,000. So I'm going to, okay. So this will not fly. So I'm going to discard it and apply it again because there's an opening I'm not seeing. So new, Kev Fashion House. Okay. Mhm, mhm. Okay. So this is wrong. So something is wrong with Kev account. It's like it has already been posted, so that that's why it's showing SS, so that we don't do double posting. So I'm going to leave and discard it. Okay. Then the next is other transactions. Other transactions. So if you go to other transactions, you have withdrew cash from bank for office use. So this is journal. This is typical journal. So I'll go to accountant module, and select manual journal. Let me, somebody just asked a question. 1 minute. This question is really, really eating. So, sir, if you are to use this to record tuition fee for students, you have to create account for all the students. Yes, your students are your customers. Your students are your customers, because you must have a transaction history for each of them. So if you are going to use it to record your tuition fee, yes, your students will constitute, all the students will constitute your student database. They are your customers. They have to come in individually. Okay, so new journal today, reference Sky J2, journal 2. That is a control entry. Control entry. Okay, so we have first account. We are moving money from bank to for office use. So you debit cash at hand. Description contra. Then amount 100,000. Then you credit bank for giving out. That is the global bank. The same control entry, contra. Then you credit bank. It's 100,000. So everything is cool. Then save and publish. So if you are dealing with save as draft, it means you want to suspend this thing for future inquiry and posting. Where there is sales return, where do you pass the, okay, good. Mr. Alex. Okay, let me just. You can see where there is sales return. You can see the credit note here, Mr. Alex. The credit note is already under sales. The credit note is already waiting for you to deploy it. Remember, the customer, when the customer returns, you must credit the customer because he's now the giver while you are the receiver. So you reverse the double entry, reducing what he's to pay. So this, you use the credit note, Mr. Alice. Okay. Okay. So let me go back. The next question is paid rent by check. So I think I'm done with all these modules. So you go back to purchases and select expenses. So those who are familiar with QuickBooks, you will remember banking right check, banking right check. You remember something like banking right check. So it's just like they are all the same. These are just it's not supposed to be petit, etc. Mr. Johnson, this is just a case study. In real life, you must do the needful. It's not every company that use petty cash. I have seen companies that don't make use of petty cash. So let's just use that scenario. But I know in your own, then you have to use petty cash as the mode of payment. Okay, so we go to expenses. So here we are, new. So remember the expense, there's no name there. You can also do bulk expenses. So there's no name. So which account are we? Rent. We are debiting rent expense, because what we are paying is rent of 10,000. How much are we paying? 10,000. Okay. Let me see. So we are paying it through our global bank. The money is passing through our global bank. There's no tax there. There's no vendor. The question did not record any vendor, so we don't need to bother ourselves. So save and new. So the next one is stationaries. I think created stationery account. They are stationaries. 2,000 is we are paying it through cash at hand, or Mr. Johnson, you can also select petty cash if you have petty cash. Remember, organizations have different policies. Okay, so save and new. Then we are buying a delivery bus of 55,000. So it's a fixed asset. Delivery bus is being paid through cash at hand. And on this date, you have, okay, expense account. We've not selected that. At a valid amount, 55,000. Okay, good. So you have utility. We have 1.5, and it's being paid through cash at hand or petty cash, as the case may be for you. Then the next one is salaries. We paid salary to 3 of our staff. John Edet, salary was paid through Global Bank. I mean his own. That of John Edet was paid through Global Bank. So you select him from here. John Edet, that's him. Okay, so save and new. Yeah, why do I normally forget that their money? 7.5. Good. Followed by Flora James. You have salary. amount 5,000, paid through cash at hand, and we are looking at Flora. Then the last but not the least is Gates Peters. So he's also earning salary as per this month. He's paid through cash at hand. And we are dealing with Gates Peters. So that's the last. So far so good. We've done, we've made all the entries. We've made all the entries. And we are going to look at our report now to see what we have done so far. So let's go there. Don't mind my my background. I'm in a lightless situation. Why are you using expense? Did I use expense account for delivery boss? Okay, let me check. Mr. Alex, thank you for drawing my attention. Let me check. Okay, no, I did not use expense account. What happened is that now let's confirm this. Then I owe you an apology. Everybody an apology. Where is the? You can see that the delivery boss is a fixed asset. And Mr. Alex, the delivery boss is a fixed asset already. What happened is that here we are purchasing it, we are buying it. So the money is being expended to get in the asset called delivery boss. So that's what happened. So everything is in the right standing. Everything is correct, sir. Okay, can you see my screen now? Please, can you see my screen so that we can go to the report together? Okay. Mr. Alex. Okay. Can you see my screen? Please confirm if you can see my screen so that we can go to the reports together. Yeah, Mr. Moriba, you are free to use the journal. What have used the expense to accomplish, you can use the journal. It's the same. It's the same report. It's the same result we are getting. But all of them are going to the same account. You understand, Mr. Mr. Alaji Moribo? It's the same. If you use journal, what I've used expense to do, if you use journal, it's the same. It's still a game of debit and credit. You are going to arrive at the same result. Yes, you arrive at the same result. You know, like I said, the basics. Once you perfect on the basics, then it's easier to go to the advanced. A lot of us, our problem is the basics. So the basics is what makes it sweet. Okay. So if you use the journal, in the journal, you are the one doing both the debit and the credit. But if I go to expense, I will only take one of the double entry, then the software will do the other one for me. That's just it. We are arriving at the same results. Okay, So let's look at the report so far. So far, I know that I made some oversight in the posting, but let's look at the report. For those that have posted in Zoho and it gave them negative. Now watch this. Mr. Johnson, okay, I'm going to do that now. Please, Mr. Johnson asked a valid question. He said, uh, uh please, on the salary side, how can one add pension, housing allowance, and all allowance? I will have charged you money, Mr. Johnson, but on the workaround, remember this particular Zoho we are using is not the employee side of it. Zoho has Zoho Zoho one, that is for employers. Then you can integrate it back here. But as a workaround, for the sake of workaround, you can use journal to achieve what you just asked now. Your question, Mr. Johnson Anelichku, you can use journal. All you need to do is to create, you know that pension is a current liability, housing allowance, depending on where you are looking at it, is a current liability. Tax deduction is also a current liability. So you can use journal. In the journal, I think those that have attended my master class on QuickBooks, I demonstrated this to them. In case the QuickBooks you are using does not have employees, you can use journal to do all those things. So the same thing applies here, Mr. Johnson. You can also use journal. Okay, so we are on home stretch. So let's go to the profit and loss account. Okay, look at it here. You can see my revenue total. You can see my gross profit. You can see my net loss. Agnes, I have answered your question in as much as it has taken some time. I have answered your question now. You can see my Zoho. There is no negative in the profit and loss because everything was perfectly done. The basics were perfectly set up. So once you do it, it's impossible. It's impossible to have what do you call it? Negative. I have seen companies walk away from Zoho because the people that did this, that set it up, made a mess of the stuff. Okay, Mr. Alex, I'm going to, because the class, I want to end it. Yes, I will do a video on bank reconciliation on Zoho and put it on our YouTube page there. Okay, somebody says, Agnes, okay, please, my company was using Zoho Invoice. Then later they migrated to Zoho Books. That's where I encountered the negative in the bank. And on the deposited for bank was showing negative. So what you do, first of all, go back, open the bank report, Agnes. You know, we are accountants, do some auditing, find out how the bank has been run from day one, from the opening balance and the rest. You will see the negativity along the line. Please check the last employee's payment. Oh, don't worry about the case study posted. Also, let me know if I can export report. Yes, you can migrate. Look at it here now. Mr. Alex, you look at it here. You can export report. Look at them here. PDF, Excel, print, and the rest. Yes, you can. Instantly, you can export. You can print direct, you can export. Oladipo, just whatever mistakes I have made in the numerics, just don't bother yourself. Okay. Please, like I said, for those who are requesting for the master class, I'm going to put up the stuff on our platform. It will also be on Facebook. Like I said, we are looking at even four softwares, or at least two. So whichever one you can register for, please go ahead and register. I've told you the difference between what we do on webinar and what we do on masterclass. The masterclass is where the money is. That's why I expose you to how I have journeyed on this software business. But for the webinar, it's just to give you that fundamental stronghold where you follow the basics and get your job done. So the masterclass details will be up and running by tomorrow. Uh, 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 Aisha, please do take note. Okay, so let's look at the balance sheet. Let's look at the balance sheet reports. So here we have the balance sheet. So there's a whole lot of things to look at, a whole lot of things. So you can see, so this is where my wrong postings caught up with me. So, but you can see that every other thing is in order. Okay. So let me go back to, so if you go back to report, you can see that it can give you a total of 85 reports. Look at them here. So you have more than enough. You have more than enough. You have more than enough. Sage gives you a minimum of 125 to 130 reports. While QuickBooks has 85 plus reports. So I can bet you, but what I have not seen here, what I have not seen so far in Zoho is that visualization and analytical report like Sage. You know, one unique thing about Sage is that Sage gives you the financial ratio analysis. Then your job is to do the interpretation. I think this is also where it has upper hand. But basically, all of them are just the same. I can bet you. So when I go to organizations, I see people degrading softwares. I laugh at them. I have seen an organization pay millions of naira to get Sage in. Somebody convinced them, they jettisoned it. But by the time I came in and showed them what they were missing by that Sage they removed, the man have to, pay me to get it back for them. So you must also let your client know that this is about the business. It's not about what others are saying or what Google is saying. It's about what benefits the business. It's about what is benefiting the business. That's where people make these mistakes. You see IT guys come in, they are doing accounting work. I can't go to a company now, let's say hospital laboratory app. I don't know anything about laboratory app. But if you say laboratory accounting, I can immediately come up with concept and insight on how you can account for activities in the laboratory. But the laboratory app, I'm a novice in it. But when you go to organization, you see that the person that is creating the chart of account is an IT person, sometimes with the help of Google. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty where the business demands some realities to come in, there will be problem. You see, he abandons that work and vanishes into the thin air. So the business owner will go back and start looking for. So before you change a software, make sure that that software has failed you on that particular thing you want it to deliver. Make sure also that on the part of the workaround, it has also failed. It has also failed on the part of the workaround. Then you are free to get it off and bring in a new one. But it's unfortunate that millions are spent and wasted for another million to be spent for another software that does the same thing to come in. Okay, it's all funny things we see in this field. So thank you once again. Yes, Mr. Alex, I'm going to do the reconciliation and put the video on our YouTube page. Normally the webinar we focus on the posting and the reporting. So I'm going to post both the setup and the reconciliation on our YouTube page. So Don't forget to subscribe. We are on the home stretch. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, comment. You are morally, it behoves on you to lead accountants to this promised land where you are also benefiting the milk and honey running in it. So invite friends. So Mr. Mori, we said, which IT course did you do to boast you? Uh, I'm a certified network engineer, because along the line, so this is what I do. Let me share this before I leave. So the more when I started early, when I started this accounting software thing, a lot of things happened. I met a lot of challenges. One of them was networking. So sometimes you have a job, you have a dedicated part, the networking to a networking guy. I don't know what happens, whether the networking guy will not turn up. So you will look so stupid and so unorganized. It has happened for so long that I was even known for not knowing what I was doing. So I have to pay heavily to a white guy that was in Nigeria here. He came for his holidays. He has to put me through on everything about network. So these days I don't bother about them. Okay. So I don't so most of these things that will make my job to be delayed, I have to go and pay and acquire those knowledge. But it doesn't mean that I go alone and do everything. No, it doesn't look professional. The only benefit is that I still bring them in, but I now know exactly what I want. So before I will leave home, I will have done the workflow analysis of my job. I know where the wiring should be. I have done the workflow analysis. So all they need to do, I pay them to deliver the job for me. So even if you don't turn up, in my bag is my network uniform. I will just put on my uniform and start work. So if you don't turn up, if the network guy don't turn up, I don't bother. I will just remove my suit, my tie, put on my network jacket, and climb the ceiling and do my job. So these days I have young boys who just finished school. I go with them. I teach them these things. I go with them. Even if I'm not there, they know exactly what to do for me. So sometimes when the educated ones don't want to behave like they are educated, you get the ones who you inspire to behave like they are educated to do the job. So that's how it is. Okay, so thank you so much for being part of today's class. I'm most grateful. So, like I said, the master class information will be up and running tomorrow, and your other demands will be taken care of. So, thank you so much. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for keeping us company. Thank you for believing in our knowledge, in our content, and the things we do. We bless you. God bless you for liking our page, for liking our courses. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you are new for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share, like, comment, and invite as many accountants as you that will benefit from what we are doing. We are creating a platform of great technology-oriented accountants. So thank you so much. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Agnes. Thank you, Johnson, Moribo, Okai, and Mr. Alex, and many more that joined us today. Thank you, and God bless your endeavors. See you in our master class. Bye.